So this girl, let's call her 10, because she's 10. So one night, she's in bed and she's passed out. It's been a long day. And her mom, who we'll call Mom, is in the next room drinking a little wine. And she's there with her boyfriend, who we'll call Chef. So Mom and Chef are in the next room and they start to argue. And they've been fighting a lot lately, but this fight gets really bad. And things keep escalating. In fact, this fight gets so bad, Mom allegedly goes into the bedroom and gets Chef's pew-pew, and she fires it at him. But the bullet doesn't hit him. I'm not sure it was meant to. Then Mom goes back into the bedroom, and Chef follows her in there, and they continue fighting. Then, bam, the pew-pew goes off again, and Mom falls to the floor, because she's been shot in the neck. So Chef calls 911 for help, and he goes to describe what happened, but oddly, he can't remember the details.
Me and my wife, we were in an argument, and she's hurt. She's hurt very bad. I need help.
Okay, what's wrong with her?
She's been shot.
She was shot?
Yes.
Who shot her?
I don't know who.
So he's not sure if he shot Mom or if Mom shot herself. Now, Mom could give her account of what happened, but unfortunately, by the time paramedics arrive, she doesn't make it. So 10 is still in the bed asleep, and she wakes up to police flashlights in her face, and cops are everywhere. Now, she doesn't understand what's going on, but she has a half-sister, Chef's biological kid, who we'll call 3, because she's only 3. And 3 pretty much keeps repeating the same thing over and over again. Poppy killed Mommy. Now jump forward in time a bit, and police are investigating all this, and they interrogate Chef. Now Chef insists that Mom's death was an accident, but the answers he's giving aren't really painting a clear picture.
I can't give you exacts on that. It all happened so fast, I don't know. I mean, we were there was a struggle. Next thing I know, there was a pop and she dropped.
Now the autopsy report shows that Mom was shot in the left side of the neck, and that she had gun residue on her left hand, so the medical examiner rules it a homicide. But police can't find sufficient evidence to prosecute anyone, so no one is arrested, and Chef goes free. And 10 goes to live with her biological father, Mom's ex, while 3 stays with her biological dad, Chef. And all this happens in 1993, and after that, the case goes cold. Until decades later, 10 is now an adult. And she hadn't thought of this case in years until one day she gets a phone call that local police are re-examining the case. Because I guess 10's aunt had been fighting for this for years, and she finally got them to listen. So 10 gets a hold of her mother's case file, and she's combing through all these files and all this evidence, and she discovers police interviewed Chef more than once, and each time his story changed a little bit. Then she finds that police in 1993 had conducted simulations to replicate the angle of the gunshot, and they found that the only way this gunshot angle was possible was if there was a struggle between 2 people. So yeah, 10 finds all kinds of stuff. Now 10 was only 10 at the time, but she knew her mother wasn't happy in her relationship with Chef and had already planned on leaving him. And allegedly, part of the reason Mom and Chef started arguing that night was because Chef found out she had been talking on the phone with her ex-husband. So 10 feels like Chef unalived her mother because he was mad she was gonna leave him for her ex. So 10 gathers all this information and she takes it back to the police. And the police, they kind of help her, but things aren't really moving forward. So she does what everyone does nowadays. She makes a TikTok account and she starts telling her story.
I am the daughter of a murdered woman. I am the daughter of a murdered woman. I am the daughter of a murdered woman.
And she makes a ton of videos about this. I had to have counted over 100. She's talking about the case. She's publicly calling for Chef to admit what he did.
It's time to confess to what you've done.
And some of her videos start to blow up, and people start taking notice, and they start talking about it, and the story is featured on like 16 different true crime podcasts in 2023 alone. And then a production company takes interest, and now allegedly there's a documentary about the whole thing going into production. Now I know this is the part of the story where you want me to be like, and then the police, they find Chef and they got his house surrounded, and then he pulls out his pew-pew and he's like, "You'll never take me alive, you son of a b***." But in real life, stories don't always end like that. And as of right now, 10 still hasn't gotten justice for her mom. But the case is ongoing, and now 10 has over 100,000 people following her, all who want to be kept in the loop. And all this happened in Sedona, Arizona, so shout out to Arizona.